Hi, I'm Wolfgang. Since you're watching this video, that means you're most likely one of my reviewers of my application for the CST and that you have opened my walkthrough PowerPoint presentation. I've created this video since you most likely don't know me, and also this document, because what I thought about my application, and if I would be in your shoes, is how can I really get to know a guy or a person and to judge on whether this person is really experienced enough to go to the DAC interview without knowing it's this person, without having seen a class, without having a feeling whether all this knowledge is there, all information is transported, which is in the learning objectives of the CSM class, etc. So this is my approach, my try to get you more acquainted with my way of doing things, of my class, and to give you a sense that it's really complete. I mean, we applicants, and you've been in this situation too, I guess. We applicants, we all need to submit material which is not really fully reflecting a class. It can't be, because the class is 2 days long. We cannot transport or give you a transcript of the entire class. We cannot record all the 2 days on videos. We could do it potentially, but to watch 2 days of a classroom situation might exceed the time limits you guys have. So I tried to compress this a little bit more into some videos which I've included in this walkthrough document, in some exercise descriptions which are also included in here. You can simply click on the PDFs and open them. They have pictures in it, they have slides in it, they have explanations what we talk about in it, etc. I've of course included my workbook, my classroom material, which I don't use in the classroom. This is tricky a little bit because this is a handout for after the classroom. Sometimes I give it on the second day just for the participants to make notes in it, but it's not reflecting all the information which is transported. So for example, I got feedback that servant leadership is not explained in there. Yes, true, it's not explained in the workbook, it's explained in verbal form, in exercises during the class. So that can be found in the exercise description in written form. But I tried to give you this more comprehensive view with videos now, since I really failed to do it in written form the first 3 times when I submitted my material, and this is now my 4th time, and I hope that these videos can give you a little bit more insight into what's going on in my classroom, and that I really cover all the learning objectives. I mean, it would be stupid not to do it, honestly said, because there are the learning objectives. The learning objectives are very clear, and if we don't cover them, we applicants in the classroom, that wouldn't make sense to submit any of this application then at all. So I know we don't know each other, so there is no trust relationship yet, but I can guarantee you that we, or at least I, cover in my classroom situation all the learning objectives from the CSM list, and also the basic ones, yes. To give you an overview about this document, I've structured it into 4 half days. Give you some explanations about what's covered in the different chapters I have in my workbook too, and I structure my class in chapters. So that means I have 4 half days, and each half day is split into several chapters. And for example, on the first day we cover more the basics, and we go over agile planning, then the events and the scrum roles as a summary in the end. So this is the basic overview of my course. In the document itself you can find more videos. So for example, I explain a little bit more comprehensively than what's going on the day 1 before noon and afternoon, and day 2 before noon and afternoon, of course. You can find also some of the flip charts there. You can find the, like I said, the PDFs to the exercises with more flip charts in it, and some more links to videos which I've uploaded to YouTube for you guys to get a more a sense of what's really going on, the dynamics in my classroom, how I behave, how I talk there, etc. So I think that's needed, because if I would be in your shoes, actually that's what I would like to see. Of course, every person is different, so but since we don't know each other, I can only guess what you need and rely on the feedback I got the first 3 rounds. So this is already something which I've changed over the first 3 rounds then. What was often mentioned was my my experience document, my training course experience document. It seems it doesn't transport that I have done a lot of co-trainings, many co-trainings, and of course I've done a lot of trainings without co-training. So I've added a dashboard section on top of it just to give you the numbers to see how much I've done in the last couple of years already. Because every time I go to another co-training, like in recently with Arne Allender or Susi Sochova, they always tell me, you are ready. This is not learning for me then anymore. It's very interesting, of course, it's exchanging experience. I love it, I love to do that. But on the other hand, it's not bringing me any closer to the DAG interview. So I've tried to give you an overview of how much I've done in this regard already and how many co-trainings are there. And of course, please feel free to connect to them and get some information about the co-trainings. Other material, personal statement is there, which was already agreed from other reviewers that it's okay, so I got no feedback on that. I have 5 endorsements now added and also 2 from participants, so in total 7. Course mapping document is there, which is a huge Excel spreadsheet, so I'm not sure how much important it really is. I mean, I know I need to cover all of these learning objectives, and I do that in the classroom. If you can read that from the learning mapping, from the mapping document, I hope so. I mean, I give you the topics, I list the chapters there. You have the all the exercise descriptions, you have flip charts. I hope it reflects what I'm doing there. I don't know it really, but I hope it's thought and leadership. This was already always said that it's a very strong document. CSP certificates, all the rest is there. So the completeness was already from the first round on given. So what I'm really struggling with is the content, the completeness of the learning objectives, and that's once again that's the reason why I've created this walkthrough document, why I give you this video, why I hope you get a little bit more acquainted with my classrooms, and yeah, to give you a sense of what's going on there, and that it's really complete, that I'm ready, that I can really try to take the next step, which is the DAG interview in the end. So, enjoy reading through my document, my walkthrough document. This is the main document I've submitted. If there are any questions, you can always, of course, contact me. I know this is not the normal procedure, but with inspect and adapt and fast feedback and learning and adjusting it, the material based on the feedback, that's exactly what I think agility is much about, and I hope we can adjust probably the process if needed to it. So, some notes made here. I hope I have not forgotten anything so far. Yes, if you're looking for some passwords, that's one thing which is very important, because some of the feedbacks always said it's not there, it's not there, it's not there. When I checked my material, it's there. So like servant leadership or imperial process control, it always was there, but people struggled finding it. I can only recommend do a quick search on the buzzwords like servant leadership, and in one of the exercises it will be highlighted then. I mean, that's the most simple. I cannot change my material anymore because it's already there, but that's only a hint I can give. And other than that, oh yeah, one more important thing. It was always, in all 3 rounds, I got the feedback that there is something covered which is not core Scrum. I know, because in communications or in backlog refinement, I cover sometimes also things like user stories, etc. What I've done now, and this was feedback I got what I should do, I added an icon for something which is going beyond Scrum, so which is complementary to Scrum or an add-on to Scrum. It's a red icon, you can find it in this document, and whenever I think something, or whenever something is not core Scrum, everything which is not highlighted with an icon is core Scrum in my personal opinion, or at least very closely connected to core Scrum. Every time there is something definitely going beyond that, it's highlighted, indicated with this red icon which says Beyond Scrum. So, now I'm really done with the first intro video. Please go ahead, have fun, enjoy, and yeah, I hope I will be ready for the next stage with that. Thank you.